Cannon is finally confirming that he's fathered his second set of twins.
Oh my goodness, Nick Cannon is like a loose cannon. Like he's just wilding out, girl, dropping bombs. More like boom, boom, no bang, bang.
Right. And Oprah's advice to Amanda Gorman, which inspired her to turn down $17 million in advertising deals.
Oh my God, Keisha, the things we would do for $17.
Honey.
But I guess, knows best.
I guess, honey. And the controversy behind Usher's papers?
Look, the DJ had everyone screaming. They thought that was the love until ultimately they got burned.
Ooh, child. All that and so much more on this week's Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend.
So maybe I want to leave the one with.
Hey, go chase the. Welcome to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd. And of course, I have my wonderful co-host, my cafe con leche, Mr. Officially Jorge.
Hi, good morning. I don't know like how I should address you. Should I just call you one of the baddest bays in the industry? Because that's what everybody else is saying.
Who said it, honey? Who said it?
Congratulations. Come on now, boss up. Like, look at you doing things. Well, everybody knows you're like a national publicist. They just didn't know that you're one of the baddest in the business.
Listen,
according to the industry. I mean, that's what they're saying. I always knew. But I'm just saying now, I mean, the industry is co-signing all that.
Well, thank you, honey, for being one of the first to recognize. But yeah, I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness. I was really surprised because I had no idea.
Yeah, what's even more astounding is that like a lot of people just have no, like you were like a low-key boss ass, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like fantastic. Like all of a sudden now you got some flowers.
Listen, I'll take them. I don't do it for the recognition, but I do it because, you know, that's what I've been doing for 20 years.
You do it for the recognitions of your clients.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also another shout out. I mean, look at you, Mocha Marvels. So guess who landed a feature on Parenting Magazine?
Who?
Fun Foodie Mama.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, y'all just out there just doing it up. Y'all might as well just open a floral shop.
I'll take that and all of that too. So congratulations, Miss Kiva, Miss Fun Foodie Mama, doing her thing, representing Wesley Chapel to the fullest, honey.
Right.
Yes. Everything else okay with you though?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, first we got to get a little coffee or juice or stuff, whatever. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Zoom in. Give me that pan, zoom in.
She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so sick. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again. Get up and try again. Get up and try again. Get up and try again.
All right, welcome back, Mocha Marvels. It's Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I'm your host once again, Miss Keisha Boyd. And of course, we have our officially Jorge with this week's Steamers. What you got, babe?
So let me do my my steamer paper shuffle. I got my pen and everything. Are y'all ready to take some notes for these steamers? Because we are bringing to you everything in Black Hollywood and entertainment.
Okay.
Number one, look who is on the cover of Vogue. Miss Amanda Gorman.
Gorgeous.
Girl is doing some things. She is on the move, looking stunning and beautiful. The first ever poet to be on the cover of Vogue, like, period. Like, poet, that's it. No other categories.
Yes. She looks amazing too. She looks amazing.
Well, listen to this. So we all know that all of these contracts and deals, have been like, she has just been flooded with them. And, she recently, according to Black Enterprise, had a little sit down kiki with Queen O. And basically she kind of like turned down allegedly $17 million in deals, endorsements, and all that. Right? Can we have a pause just for the effect? Yeah. So
that's how you know you that when you listen.
that girl.
Okay. Yeah. You that girl.
Yeah. And part of the reason why in this interview, she, reflected back on her conversation with Oprah, and Oprah said, just, when all this starts coming your way, just be weary of, everyone's agenda and, what it is that everybody else wants from you, and be careful, make sure that your values kind of line up with, I'm like, so for me, I'm like, so that means Oprah's going to offer her 18?
Yes.
I'm like, thanks. But does that mean you're going to like one up it?
Yeah, right. For real.
So congratulations to her on her cover in her decision making with the help of Auntie O. Moving right along. So we all know, I don't know if you ever did this, but do you ever stay up on Friday nights to watch like Friday Night Main Event? Okay, well, we all know that the Bay Area is like capital of like the wrestling world. And the WWE just had their big event, WrestleMania, at Raymond James. Well, for the first time ever, we have two beautiful Black Mocha Marvels competing for a WWE like championship belt. When have you ever seen two Black women competing for a belt in that area of entertainment?
Right. And I don't even watch WWE, but that's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, if I rule the world, there's Black magic everywhere in the ring. I mean, they're body slamming, they're figure four people. I mean, they're like, what are some wrestling moves? You know some wrestling moves? I'm sure you do, because you do have a child.
Do I know some wrestling moves?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Or he attacks me in the midsection. I'm just like, son, you 55 pounds.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what those moves are called,
right.
but
apparently you did have a child, so
I do.
The hit to the midsection worked. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of children, guess who is wild and out, just blasting everybody with babies?
Listen,
Nick Cannon. So according to a Boss Up, the fertile Mr. Cannon is up to like 6 children. And he, boom, just put it out there. Like, so the internet was like, what? When did this happen? Apparently 9 months ago.
So wait a minute, 6?
Yeah, he's up to like having 6 kids.
What? I must have been in the middle.
Oh, I don't know. But so anyways, so all of his exes are like, I mean, that's a lot. That's 6. And twins. And you said the twins. Now, you know he had twins with Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, yeah.
Right? Morocco and Monroe, right? So I guess he's twinning. Like that's his thing. Like Kia, shout out to her. She had twins too. So,
absolutely.
But not Barnett Cannon. Let's get that totally like out there and clear. So yeah, I mean, you can't even just walk by him, you end up pregnant.
Like, don't look at me in my eyes and don't breathe on me, bro.
Ask me to do a guest spot on Wild 'N Out because then you'd be pushing some things out. Not much there.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
Keep
do
having
it.
more babies. Keep having little like Mocha marbles. So anyways, oh boy. All right. So Usher is, preparing for his residency in Las Vegas at the Sapphire Club. And you know how we like to make it rain in the club, I wouldn't say strip club, but I always refer to them as exotic dancers. Well, everyone showed up, everything was on point, everybody was screaming, it was like it was raining. And so apparently when some of these folks went to the bank to deposit some of this rain that they had captured, it was not any president that you know of on that paper. It was Usher.
It was not.
Yeah, they call him #UshBucks. So of course, some of these exotic dancers were not feeling it and started posting
was not out here. He was not throwing no fake money. You stop that. You stop that.
It was not fake money. It was UshBucks.
And what they supposed to do with that?
Right.
Is Georgia?
Well, I will say that
stepping it.
It was all pretty much, promotional for his upcoming residency. And that was just part of the gig. They should have read their contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you're going to be a professional video hoe, you got to read everything that they put in the contract and get your money up front.
Well, listen, producer says he did tip well, so I guess we'll let him go.
Okay, so all right, let's hope see, but don't claim the tips though. Don't claim the tips.
Right.
So could you imagine? Walking right. Just stuffing everything, just putting in everything, grabbing, knocking people over, snatching wigs to
get some fake money. Lord,
right? So like I said before, I guess Usher will no longer be their boo.
All right, what else going on?
So check this out. It has been 25 years since an American woman has gold medaled, in the Olympics, in the track and field, or especially in this particular, which is the 100-meter. And Sha'Carri Richardson, she's on the radar. She's breaking records and didn't even really try. Right? Yeah, so the thing is, some of the previous ones were like Florence Griffiths Joyner, Carmelita Jeter, Marion James, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and Elaine Thompson Herron. Well, this 21-year-old clocked 10.72 seconds in Miramar, Florida, becoming the 6th fastest woman in history with the fastest time ever.
That's crazy. Congratulations to her.
And she said she started late.
Oh, well, come on, girl. You better go and get your medal. I ain't
mad. So congratulations. I mean, wow. I'm like, yes. Remember like when the Olympics were in LA, that was such a huge, oh my goodness. It was just like, we were just running things. And I just remember just the fashion of it all, and the nails, hair, the legs, it was just stunning. So it looks like the U.S. is making that comeback really quick.
Yes. Come on.
All right. And so just like all of us, we could use a fabulous break.
Yes. Where are we going?
Well, I wish we could go where Naomi Campbell is spending her time in Kenya. She is she's being featured in Architectural Digest. And the sprawling, magnificent resort in Kenya. She calls it her little Italy in Africa. And these pictures are stunning. She's stunning. You know what's really clever about this? She was like, I'm going to go on vacation in Africa and they're going to pay for it. I'm going to make it look like I'm working, but not really. Stunning. Anyways, so she is having the vacay we all wish we could have. Not only is she the queen of the catwalk right now, she is the queen of Kenya.
Go ahead, girl. I ain't mad at her. Do your thing. Soak it up. But invite your friends. Invite your friends.
Let me carry a bag. Let me hold your phone.
Anything.
But you don't throw it at anybody.
Don't throw it at nobody, baby. Please. Y'all, thank you so much. All right.
Those are your steamers for this week.
Steamers. And we'll be right back with Piping Hot. Don't you go anywhere.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
All right, Mocha Marvels. We are back with Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd. And you know what? It is time for Piping Hot. And I could not do it without my Mocha Marvel sisters. So let me welcome them on into the fold. We'll start with Miss Liz Everett.
Hello, Mocha Marvels. Happy Friday.
All right, Miss Kenya Woodard.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We made it through another week. Yes.
And Miss Val Trinda.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again for having me. I am so excited and I'm ready to get down to the nitty gritty.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So let's go ahead and get this topic on out the way. Black lives still matter, always will. You see, I got my I Can't Breathe t-shirt on because, the trial is happening with the George Floyd case. There was a 13-year-old young man killed in Chicago recently, and crazy and ironically, another man in Minnesota, 20-year-old, was killed by a police officer 10 miles from, where all this other stuff is happening. I just can't for the life of me understand. There is so much, and even before we get to the Daunte Wright, there's an Army officer where there's video of him, being pepper sprayed during a traffic stop. There's a lot happening. Kenya, I really don't even understand where to start with. How many marches and protests are we going to do? How many hashtags are we going to have? This is not going anywhere, obviously. And clearly the police officers are not getting it. Something is not, I don't understand what the solution or how the solution is going to come about. I just don't even know where to start, honestly.
Yeah, a friend of mine, whenever these incidents occur, she posts a reminder to everyone to let them know that it's systemic, right? It's something in the culture of policing where we keep seeing these types of things happen over and over. And I'm not sure exactly what the answer is. None of us really do, right? Except we need some kind of complete overhaul of the policing system and something to kind of disrupt this culture where officers just shoot people for apparently no reason. Resisting arrest, obviously warrants some kind of death sentence for Black men for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I see so many, and then we see the videos where a white man can steal a whole car, shoot up a whole supermarket, and come out alive. But it's I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out as well. You were kind of reading my mind about how when it comes to white men who are shooting up all kinds of people, doing all kinds of terrible things for whatever reason. We not only know their names, we get to see their faces again because they are arrested and carried away alive. I'm not sure exactly, what the reason is other than the fact that it's systemic and we, unfortunately are living with this a lot longer and much more than we should have to, I would say that. But let me also point out that in the case of the 13-year-old in Illinois, this one is really interesting in that the mayor is standing up and calling for release of the video. It has not been done yet. This is very different from past behavior with Chicago PD. If you remember when Laquan Donald was shot, it took forever and going to a judge to get the video released from the body cam. So I don't know if that's a sign that things are changing. In fact, I won't even take it as such. I will say that it's a different approach than what we're used to.
Yeah. And listen, Valtrinda, you have a young Black son.
I do.
Right?
I do.
Like he's 19 now, right?
Yes, he's 19
So,
in college.
Right, young man. I mean, God forbid, but I have a 5-year-old, but this could have been your son, my son.
Absolutely. And my boyfriend as well. He lives in Virginia and he's in the military. So as soon as I heard of it, I was like, who is this? And I'm looking like, what's going on? Every time, it doesn't matter where it is, who it is, it always gives you that initial shock. And that initial shock, unfortunately, I'm tired of getting used to it. I'm tired of feeling it. And then when my son was here, he's back in college now. Every time he walked out the door, you have no idea that feeling of panic of every time. I'm like, he knows what I'm going to say. Be careful. You're driving the car. Don't speed. Don't do nothing you're not supposed to do. And even if you are, just pray. Like at this point, I don't have any solutions. None of us do. We don't have anything because there's nothing else we can do. We've marched, we've talked back, we've yelled, we've protested, we've done everything. We've shot back. And what? It's still happening.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And Liz, I know before we move on to this topic, we're going to move on. Producer, I see your notes. But the Black Lives Matter, one of the co-founders is getting backlash because she's buying these $1 million homes in white neighborhoods. And I'm like,
is she putting black families in the houses though?
I mean, maybe she's buying them for herself. I don't know, Liz. Do you think that's an issue because she's buying a home in a white neighborhood?
So my question is it a real estate investment? You know what I mean? Because one of the ways that you curate wealth is making an investment. I am not as concerned, I guess, about them being in white neighborhoods as I would be as to whether or not she spent BLM money to do so, which she did not. How people figure out to curate wealth, and especially her being a Black woman curating wealth, in a lot of ways, I feel like she should be applauded for figuring out how to do that, because the important thing to me for her is that she's figuring out how to curate that legacy for her family. I do think that you also have to make sure that you invest in the communities, that are at risk, right? And we know that Black and communities of color are at risk. So I think also if she is investing, which I have not read anything about what her other investments are, right? If she's also investing in those communities that are at risk, I mean, do your thing.
Then it's her money. So if it's her money, then let that lady do what she needs to do. They're not talking about what Lamar Odom or any of these KD or the basketball players are doing with their money. It seems like they're assuming that she's using BLM money to purchase.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She could not possibly curate that wealth on her own. And I also think this is just one more tactic to try to distract from the importance of what's happening. You know, like I don't drive past 7 p.m. a lot of times unless I'm going to an exact spot. I don't take any extra trips to Walmart. I don't do any of that stuff because I've been stopped twice and harassed, right? And the last time, my mom will tell you, she believes that the reason I came home was because I had called her on the phone. You know, and so I mean,
it's a serious situation out here for all of us, especially Black people. And we could talk about this the whole show. And I know we have some other topics, but I definitely think that it's important that there are so many layers to this. But something has to happen, and I hope that it happens sooner or later, really, because we just cannot continue to afford to. We just continue to lose our Black boys and men and women as well. We just cannot. It's just all right. Listen, let's talk about quickly the vaccine. Now, I've gotten my first dose of my vaccine, which was Pfizer, and J&J, which is the one hit quitter, has been paused, which I'm like, what the freak? You know, they have had, I think, 6 cases of brain blood clots out of the millions that they've given, but 6 is, it's still somebody's, health. And so I wanted to jump to Kenya because she has taken the J&J shot, and just to get your thoughts really quickly on this. And I think it brings, I was talking to my husband about it. I'm like, we're driving home, go get the shot, go get it, go get it, go get it. And then you see this headline, it's like, people are going to retreat, I feel like. What do you think, Kenya?
So let me state that I feel fine. I got the shot probably, I'm just a few days outside of the 13-day window when the symptoms and the other women were reported. They said between 6 and 13 days, they reported symptoms of, this reaction to the vaccine. So let me just say I'm a few days outside of that day 13. I feel fine. I am concerned. However, I am not panicked. I'm not freaking out. I think, no matter what, there's a risk in everything you do. With this particular vaccine, I did my research. I read all of the information that was available to me, and I decided to go with this one, partly, actually mostly because I am absolutely terrified of needles and I didn't want to do 2. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. So, this is one of those things where, you just take your chances, but also let me state that you actually, if you're a woman on birth control, your risk for blood clot is much greater than it is if you've gotten this vaccine. So, I'm just kind of taking a look at everything and kind of just, taking it day by day and moving accordingly. And I think everyone else should as well. If they resume the J&J, if you think it's, good for you and you should do it, that's fine. Or whatever vaccine you think is best for you.
All right, cool. Let's talk about quickly. We have 2 other things that we want to cover. Let's see. But, so the Georgia voting law has had some pushback and some corporate pushback. Will Smith and Antoine Fuqua were set to film a movie in Georgia, and they pulled out because of this Georgia voting law. The same thing happened with the Major League Baseball. Now, we know that, this may have a domino effect. So I don't know if it's good or bad, right? I certainly appreciate, the fact that people are standing up and saying, no, we're going to hit you where it hurts. And this is in your pockets. Right, Liz? So, what do you think of Will Smith and folks pulling out of Georgia and how this is going to affect, the economics there?
So the first thing that I think people have to be really aware of when it comes to art and fashion and things that are like tastemaker, right? The entertainment industry, period, is very political. And I think that people often forget that. So for instance, like when Beyonce stands up and says, she has an opinion, people are like, just sing. And you're like, no, like that's not going to happen. So I think you really have to look at the back part of the entertainment industry, which is highly political. you know? And I don't know that Georgia really thought about that when they started inviting, you know, Hollywood and started inviting, you know, different things. I think they have like Netflix films there. They've had the Walking Dead film there. And so I think that it probably should have been a little bit more of a consideration on Georgia's part. You know what I mean? As far as like your economy is going to be highly affected by, you know, an industry that comes in and has an opinion, you know, about what happens wherever they're at. And I don't think that Georgia was ready for that, you know. And I do know that Tyler Perry is now, you know, begging Hollywood like not to pull out, basically, like, if they've already agreed to film there or they already have contracts there, to continue to use those vendors. And, you know, the other people that we have to think about too within that economy are, you know, the makeup artists and stylists and the people that have moved there, you know, because they wanted to stimulate their own economy and stimulate their own business, and maybe they weren't ready for Hollywood or New York.
Absolutely. I agree. Valtrinda, what do you think about that? And, you know, we have people like Tyler Perry and Stacey Abrams who are saying like, hey, you know, please stay because we need this.
Right. Well, number one, you guys know I'm absolutely in love with Will Smith. It's one of the reasons why I came back, you know, from Puerto Rico, because I didn't want to die there. I still have to meet him. But I'm so in love with him that sometimes it's hard to be like, you know, not on his side. But I have to play devil's advocate here for a minute, because the first thing I thought of was those jobs, those Black jobs, those, you know, anybody's jobs, but especially Black jobs, because like Liz said, a lot of people move to Atlanta for that type of work, you know, and they know Will Smith is coming. They know there's going to be good work. And so for them to pull that production out, you know, I'm more so thinking about the families that were going to be depending on that salary. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I do stand strong with, you know, legality. What is right? What's the right move here? You know, and he is a big timer in Hollywood, and he's going to put a dent in it. It's going to put a dent. It's going to show them you don't want to mess with this, you know, and so maybe it'll change their mind into thinking, you know, maybe let's go back to, you know, so that we can bring this money back into our state.
All right, listen, we've been talking, y'all, and just ran over time. But the one thing that we were going to talk about, which was the head coach of UNC talking about he proud of his white wife. We were going to talk about that, but honey, we didn't even got the time nor the energy. Ladies, that's just some foolishness, okay? Ladies, thank you so much, as always, for being here, looking beautiful as you do. Y'all better work, okay? And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Mocha in the Morning.
The views and opinions expressed on Mocha in the Morning are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the show, its producers, staff, and sponsors.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by Black in Florida, your online connection to everything that's Black in Florida.
Mocha Marvels. This is Dr. Jen Green coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii with your Mocha Money Minute. I'm sorry I missed you guys on the show lately, but that 6-hour time zone, ooh, that difference is huge. So it's really hard to be on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, but I do want to still bring you the Mocha Money Minute and talk to you quickly about student loan forgiveness. If you think it's all a hoax, it certainly is not, and I can prove it. I have some great reviews, most recently from my client Sarah, who we got $104,000 in forgiveness. So stay tuned to learn more about that as we get through the year and get more forgivenesses on the way from the Mocha Money Minute.
It's my version of like tightening up. Sometimes you need other apparatuses to help you tighten up.
Mocha Marvels, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning. Listen, it has been a show. We have definitely added some flavor to your morning blend. Woo, Piping Hot was amazing. The Steamer, just a lot going on in Black Hollywood Entertainment, honey. And of course,
There's always a lot going on.
Always. Listen, don't forget to share us with your Mocha Marvel sisters and brothers, cousins and sisters and aunties and all of them. Make sure that you share us, follow us on all of the platforms, Mocha Morning Show. We cannot wait to have more of you with us. And have a great weekend.
Now we only have 3 episodes left.
3 episodes in this season, huh?
Yeah, we have 3 left. And then I'm trying to get on that vacation break right now.
Well, listen.
But all the, if you missed the show, you can always go back and watch all the shows because we'll still, they'll still be out there. So it'll be plenty of time for everyone to catch up.
Beautiful. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Got that beat. I do like that. It's like when you be in the club and it's like, and you kind of make it great. Like you wait until there's a line and then you skip the line. And then you walk in and everyone's looking at you like, right? And then you pretend that you forgot something and then you leave the line from the front. And then, and then you go back and skip them again. That's what that beat is.